Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day.
Song, you know what's going on. It's the Jason Show. And we welcome you back. And if you're a fan of beautiful jewelry, and who isn't, a Minnesota woman is creating one-of-a-kind pieces in her home studio.
She takes inspiration from Scandinavian design to create each piece by hand. She does it. I got a chance to meet the woman behind Dottir Jewelry and see her at work. The overall look of all of your pieces, I love them. You've been doing this for a while, but full-time, not quite as long.
So I started doing this as a side business in 2012. It was just sort of a hobby, and then people showed interest, so I started selling at a couple shops, and it kind of grew from there to a point where I had to decide, do I jump in or put it aside? I decided to go all in 2017, and it's been my full-time job since then.
I'm not gonna lie, it probably hasn't been the easiest during a pandemic, because
Oh
you
my
sell mostly
goodness.
online though, or like,
Well,
tell me how that has all
yeah.
been working.
About 70% of my income was from shows. Every show was canceled, still
Like
canceled
vintage
through the spring.
markets and like art galleries.
Exactly,
Okay.
yep, art fairs, pop-ups, all that sort of thing. And then I sell wholesale and consignment in various shops, and then I was doing like 5% online. So switching that 5% into pretty much 100% this past year is
95%.
interesting challenge, but you know, I'm up for it, and flexibility is part of being a small business owner.
These are gorgeous. And you said the new, more textured pieces are some of your newer work.
My background is actually in illustration and 2D art. All of my designs start as a drawing. I'm inspired by nature, by geometric shapes, by paper cutting, by Scandinavian illustration. So everything starts as a drawing, and then I'll start to play with the metal and see if it can support that shape.
I'm super curious how this gets done.
Yeah.
Let's go see
Let's
how you
check
make
it out.
the magic.
Sounds good.
This is the most like fantastically feminine setup. But seriously, it's like a wood shop, but with pretty things and miniature tools.
This is where most of the magic comes from. This is my jeweler's saw. It has the tiniest saw blade. It's so small that I usually have to use my thumb to even know which way the teeth are pointing. But when I'm working with a thin gauge of metal, which I do for most of my earrings so that they're very lightweight and comfortable, you need that really fine blade to get it to work.
You've got a design in your mind.
Yeah.
Say you've sketched it out at this point. How does the rest of this work?
This is my pattern folder. I'll cut one out of metal, make sure that it works as a piece, and then I will trace that piece in replicate and make a paper pattern. One of my oldest designs, one of my absolute all-time favorites, this is kind of my go-to pair, so I figured I could show you how I cut them out. In order to do that, the saw blade actually has to be threaded up through a little pilot hole that you drill. I'll make a little punch, and then I will use my rotary tool to just drill a little hole, and then I pull out the top there. This is where it gets really finicky. You thread that saw blade through that hole. There we go. So now you can see it's captured on that saw blade.
Yep.
I can go ahead, cut out that interior shape, and then remove the piece.
You want to know what, TV friends? There's also a magical version on our Instagram page that shows it all sped up. If you're like me and are super curious, it's like one of those fun TikTok videos where you just go really fast. Is this how jewelry was made before we mass made everything? Like, it was this intricate of a process?
Part of what I like is educating people how long it does take to make a piece. I think that makes it special that it's handcrafted. I love that I hand cut my work. I think it adds a lot to it. I have touched every piece that goes out the door, and I think that's really wonderful. Well, like I said before, I make things that I want to wear, and so that's really the heart of it. I make things that I think are beautiful, that I'm really excited about, and I think that translates to people. I think they can feel that and see that in the work, and they're drawn to it. When I can let them know how much went into it too, I think that just really makes it that much more special and deepens that connection.
That is so impressive.
Isn't that cool?
I want all of those.
All out of her house. So you might have noticed the really large pair she was wearing. Up close, they're very detailed and intricate. And I said, okay, how long, for example, does it take you to make that pair? And she said, not including the shipping or the drawing design of it, about 6 hours. It's like, so it makes you really appreciate how much work goes into, and people are always like, oh, it's expensive, but
You're paying for hand like, art
And if you lose an earring, ladies, if you lose an earring, she makes individual earrings too. So you can get a replaced. I think it's pretty cool.
Genius.
To learn more about Megan's jewelry, head to dottirshop.com, Dottir, or follow her on Instagram, Dottir_jewelry. You can see some of those sped up videos there.
Following her right now. We'll be right back after this quick break.